ChainCulture.
Okay. Hello? Hey everyone, Adel, as mentioned, thank you again for the introduction, Roland and everyone here. I'm going to be very brief. Wow, applause, thanks, Jason. I'm going to be quite brief because I really want Sorin to introduce what they're doing in Luxembourg. There's a lot of exciting stuff. And of course, everyone in Malaysia already knows what we're doing in Malaysia, so you don't need to get bored by me. So just quick introduction, OffChain, we started in 2017. We used to be called Crypto Drinks, but then as we grew, we kind of realized not everyone drinks and not everyone likes crypto. So we kind of changed the name. We became OffChain. We're the community where we bring people offline. We bring them off the blockchain, I guess. That's where the name comes from. And we're trying to bring people on a human level. We're already in about 70 different cities around the world. And when I say 70, I mean regular events. And for us, a regular event is at least once a month. So you come in, you make some friends. Some events are, 5 people. Some events are 50 people. So it really depends where you are and kind of the mood of that city. In KL, we meet generally every 3 weeks or so. Unfortunately, I didn't organize a side event this week, but you've got some reason to come back next time. Yeah, really, thank you for having us. I'll hand over to Sorin to explain a little bit about OffChain Luxembourg.
Thank you, Adel. Yeah, it's okay. It works. Thank you. So yeah, well, welcome to ChainCulture, and thank you for having me here. So I'll start with something that I realized quite soon is that blockchain people are very tribal. They get attached for whatever reasons to one blockchain, and then they think that is the best blockchain, and everything revolves about the token of that blockchain and whatever you can do with that blockchain. And how I came to OffChain Luxembourg is, well, to found OffChain Luxembourg is that I was studying, doing a master's in European law, and I wrote a dissertation about the MiCA regulation, which is markets in crypto assets. Is the European regulation that creates a legal framework for blockchain and cryptocurrency. And wrote my thesis, and then I said, okay, I learned all these things. Now, what do I do with it? Could I put it in practice? And I said, I love to explain, to teach people. And I said, I want to organize something and tell people about what I learned about MiCA and explain the MiCA regulation and how it can be used by different people in different walks of life or business domains or whatever. And then I found the local chapter of OffChain Luxembourg that was a little bit drifting because the original founder had left the country. And I said, oh, let's do something. Let's organize an event where I would be presenting my thesis, and I would be summarizing and giving people the gist of the MiCA regulation and taking their questions so that they learn about the law and what it means for different activities, for startups, for people in the financial sector, for professionals like in the consulting companies or in law firms and so on and so forth. And I found, very helpful assistance from OffChain Global. So I realized relatively quickly the power of having a brand like OffChain and how it takes let's say, the toxicity of the tribalism in blockchain culture, and it federates people, it brings people together. In the previous situations where we had other, let's say, we try to bring people together, it's often turned into a, how would you call that without being vulgar, but a pissing contest. My blockchain is better than yours. My token is going to go higher than yours, right? And OffChain managed to be the kind of brand and to give the kind of public image that took the sting out of this tribalism. So yeah, it started with what we call now a formal meeting with a presentation. So as Adel said earlier, OffChain at the global level is organizing events that are relatively laid back, chill. You have drinks, you talk about projects, about tokens, about various topics. But from time to time, there are sponsors that want to present a topic. And so we started doing the same in Luxembourg, having both informal meetings, meetups. As he says, sometimes there are 5 people, sometimes no, 50 in Luxembourg is very hard because the city is very small. Just to give you a sense of size, the capital city of Luxembourg is 140,000 people, 140,000. So it's like a tiny village in Malaysia. And the whole country has 670,000 people. So it's like a quarter, like a neighborhood in Kuala Lumpur, right? That's the whole country. So at maximum, we gather like the best events that we had were something like 35, 40 people, which is huge for such a small place. And from there, we said, okay, now OffChain at the global level is what is called an unincorporated association. So we are going to search to do more starting from that. So we came up with this idea of creating a decentralized human organization, and I'm going to explain what that means. So our first step in the journey was starting from the initial drive. Now Europe has given this legal framework, MiCA, and the blockchain world is a world that is atypical in that it doesn't need the law. It's not anti-law necessarily, it's pretty much agnostic. Whether there is a law or not, the basis of trust creation is on-chain, is in the smart contracts, it's in the code, it's in the protocol, right? So it's a separate way of creating trust and bringing people to collaborate. And so with MiCA, so we said there is a river that separates a blockchain and law. And on one shore of the river, you have Bitcoin at first. And then on the legal shore, you have the European regulations and the national regulations. This flag there, red, white, and light blue stripes is the Luxembourgish flag, for those that don't know. It's very similar to the Dutch flag. Just the shade of blue is different. And then the blockchain world has built a little bit of bridge infrastructure with new tokens, with new blockchains, with new coins. And from the side of the law shore, you got a MiCA regulation which has like extended a hand toward the blockchain world. And we said, okay, what's in the middle? How do we join the two parts of the bridges? And MiCA says that to comply, a coin must be issued by a legal entity. Whereas on the blockchain shore, cryptocurrencies facilitate free collaboration without the need for legal entities and the law, right? Law agnostic. And how do we bridge the two, right? And OffChain Global is an unincorporated association, but if we wanted to bridge from the world of law to the world of blockchain, we said we need a legal entity. So we incorporated, we created a legal entity. We went to the how do you call this, the legal registry where we incorporate stuff. So we got a legal personality. So we have a number. And on the blockchain shore, we have published statutes, and our articles of association, or I don't know how you call them, constitution if you wish, is published in the official centralized ledger of Luxembourg on one hand and on the Hive blockchain on the other hand. Okay, so we have the same text published twice in two places, one of the on the blockchain and one in the legal organization. So we incorporated as what is called an ISBL, which means a non-profit, right? And we said we are going to be a decentralized human organization. What does that really mean in practice? First of all is uncoerced collaboration, meaning that nobody is forced to come into the organization or to do work on behalf of the organization. It's free, voluntary collaboration. We are tokenized and bankless, meaning we don't have a bank account. All the money that we use for the normal functioning is on the blockchain, so we use a stable coin on the blockchain. And we have our own token. And the value created within the organization is accounted for in our own token rather than in a fiat currency. So if you wish, we are kind of a new generation organization, or where instead of paying a salary in fiat money, we pay for the work that people do uncoerced. If you want to work, you work. If you don't want to work, you don't work. There is no contract signed, no nothing. But if you do work, you are going to get paid, but not with fiat money, but with the token of the organization. And we have an innovative governance model. I have implemented a very rudimentary application that is live today, and we are exploring. Basically, we said we cannot, this is one of our mottos, so we cannot lose, we either win or we learn. So we embark together on a journey of common experimenting and collaborative experimenting and learning. So we have this dho.offchain.lu with currently just two functionalities. One is calculating the depth ratio of our own token, because our own token needs to have a value. And in order to keep the value of that token, we do like governments. We have a debt on GDP ratio that we try to stay above, so that our token does not become worthless. And the voting part is we created a dedicated governance model. That is, you have on one side the representative democracy, where you have one person, one vote. And in the blockchain world, usually you have one token, one vote. And this one token, one vote model leads to plutocracy, meaning people that are very rich in tokens, they can dictate whatever they want to the normal users, the small holders. And we are trying to create a new governance model that mixes the two by using a formula and experimenting with the formula with parameters, where we try to adjust the weight of let's say, the persons on one hand and on the token holdings on the other hand. So this is quite exciting. And then we are organized in a way that is similar to what is called holocracy. We are organized in nodes that have autonomy at both the financial level and the decision-making level, and that, let's say, specialize. So for instance, we have a node for finance and accounting, a node for IT, a node for legal and compliance, a node for different, and people freely join according to their competence and their where they feel they fit better. And we are proudly transparent in decision making. We publish on Hive blockchain our decisions, our board meetings, and everything. And in financial management, we have wallets that can be consulted. I'm an association guy. I'm in many associations. And usually associations, when they deal with money, they have a bank account. And the problem with that is that the bank accounts have no transparency. They are opaque. And the boards usually have to keep the trust of the members of the associations, because they can decide what is being done with the money, and the other members have to trust them that they spend their money in a reasonable way, and they only get a financial report once a year. by having our money on the blockchain, as the previous panel said, you get transparency. Everybody can see in real time where the money is being spent by those who get to decide how to spend the money. So they say, oh, I don't like this. Why are you spending the money on this project? And then we need to say, okay, look, there is a decision that has been published, that is public, on that the money, that the governance structure with the style of voting that is mixed between representative democracy and typically blockchain voting based on token, there has been a decision that has been made to dedicate money to that project. This resembles the decentralized autonomous organization, but it's something in between representative democracy, classical democracy, and blockchain democracies. This is why decentralized human organization, right? And on the legal shore, okay, we have to, because the law has to be centralized. Huh? The law only understands centralized bodies. Currently there is no law in most of the places, except some states in the US that have given DAO laws, like Wyoming, and there are like two American states that have DAO laws. But everywhere else, they only deal and understand centralized structure. So in order to be incorporated, we have a board of directors, and yeah, we have a number in the legal registry. Okay, and we have to have beneficial owners, ultimate beneficial owners. So what brought us together is a sense of purpose and the drive to achieve. We believe that crypto is going to change the world, and we want to prepare as many people as possible for the upcoming revolution. And our first concrete goal was, let's issue the first MiCA compliant token in Luxembourg. Let's try out how this, we spoke, the panel spoke about the regulation earlier, right? We have this regulation in Europe. How does it really work? Let's try to use it, right? Let's issue a token. And we also want to create jobs, crypto jobs, because if crypto is to, let's say, to bring benefits to the society, ultimately it needs to create jobs, right? And what we extracted from this is the power of community. And this is just to illustrate, we organize like events where people come together, have a good time together, discuss crypto topics together, and yeah, we advance in this way and expand the organization. So yeah, where does blockchain come to fit into this? We say blockchain should come after the technology. The blockchain technology should come after the community. Community comes first. So this is how we started. We aim for a multi-blockchain strategy, but we must start with the first blockchain, right? And yeah, we had an intern, and we discussed a lot about what blockchain to use, because everybody wants their blockchain to be used. And the intern said, look, why not use Hive, because it's free, right? And so we issued OCLT on Hive engine on the layer 2. And we said we plan to issue on BNB chain next, and on using other chain, we plan to issue OCLT, our own token, as runes on Bitcoin. And this was in 2024. And we realized that actually there were so many barriers and so much more cost. There was so much more costly to issue on other blockchain and to maintain the token on other chains, that in the end, today we still are on Hive, because we came to the realization that it is simply the best blockchain. And for those that do not know Hive in the audience, you had already the opportunity to listen a bit about it. What we have is that we have account abstraction at protocol level, something that, for instance, a much better known blockchain such as Ethereum still hasn't settled on this yet. They still need to work to have account abstraction. We have it at protocol level since the inception, since the design. So accounts are like, for instance, Frankie Boy instead of 0x326 whatever. We have hierarchical keys and account recovery. We have friendly user interfaces on desktop and mobile. Multi-sig capability, and this is important because we manage our wallets with real money on it, and so we need multi-sig. And you have multi-sig everywhere, right? So there was this famous safe, Gnosis safe, that was used by Bybit, and they got hacked by the North Koreans. And so we have here a multi-sig that is also free. We have a stable coin, HBD, that you can buy hungry hamsters with now. And we have stake-based voting out of the box. So about our token, let's say what we ask members who want to enter the organization, what we ask them is to read the articles of association, and especially Article 10, that says member undertake to accept as far as possible the association's token as a reward, compensation of payment in exchange for the value contributed, and to encourage non-members of the association to make preferential use wherever possible of the OCL tokens. So yeah, where do we stand? We work on several projects like InnoPay, like Plaza.lu, like LU is Luxembourg. Yeah, we have social media accounts. The main message that I want to convey is that OffChain is an excellent umbrella for bringing people together and creating communities. And I would encourage everyone when they go home into their own city, their own town, to look into starting an off-chain chapter that will help people come together and advance the cause of blockchain technology and crypto, and advance the cause of a better society that creates value together and increases overall prosperity, which is what we all aim for. So yeah, this is our DHO of Chain.lu. A little bit of recap. And that's it. Thank you so much. Go back to your cities and start an off-chain chapter.
ChainCulture.